from the past. Simply go to that site here, type in your previous perfect name, hit find, makes it real easy for you. Real easy. I can do it. Ezra can do it. Even Cavacom, can do that really easy. You got some real easy names that can be pronounced. Go in and it'll show you for that team all the perfect team accounts that you've had. You can go in and say, ooh, what went on in 2021? It shows you all your record from that time. Look at that. I was a 541 winning percentage. Take that. Yeah, take that. Made the playoffs 48 times, 6 championships. And then you can go to the top here where it says all team cards, and you can check the database of all the cards that you had in OOTP 21. You just got to click on that link and it will take you to that database. Or you can go to a different year if you want. Go check out OOTP 20, all team cards, and you can click on there. Look at that. My winning percentage wasn't very good in that year. So to load up the database, you can see kind of the funky card art that they had going on. And some of these cards that we might remember from OOTP 20, some live cards. Take a look here. Billy Swift. There's an Ichiro, a Joey J. And they had something similar to build a lineup. They had, I think this might have been the year of build a legend. Future legends, different card art. So you can go in and you can check out, oh, look at that. Of course, Detroit Tigers were in the game back then too. Yeah, they did include some Detroit Tigers back then. So the card art was a little bit different, but you can go in and reminisce a little bit, just like you do with your high school yearbook. You can go and reminisce and take a look at all those photos that you crossed off with black felt pen because you didn't like that person. Just like in Perfect Team, you can go back and cross off some of those cards that you said, they did not perform for me. Look at this, Ty Cobb, Perfect Team 19. That was a banger. I didn't have any perfect cards back then. I don't know why, but no perfect cards back in 2019. So have some fun. Distract yourself a little bit by going back to the previous years and then go and fill that form out with some of the favorites, the face of the franchise. Ooh, one of the most well-known concepts that Perfect Team has had. Remember those face of franchise and the missions and the struggles that you had? But of course, I'm a bronze kind of guy. So I like to go down to these bronze level cards and try to remember some of them. I don't remember any of these. No, I don't. Tony Batista, Orlando Cabrera, Scott Fletcher, Del Crandall. Oh, yeah, we got a stream to do here. Oh, yeah. Stop reminiscing, Lap. Stop going through your OOTP yearbook. So again, give it a few minutes. Go and look at some of the previous cards from previous years. Fill out the form and give OOTP some feedback there. Because like I said, they will take a look at the responses. So please be kind and rewind your OOTP collections. League play. Again, just a reminder that the last physical World Series trophy will be given out 1 week from Sunday on February the 18th. So if you're in Diamond or if you're in Perfect League this week, you got a couple more weeks to go grab that physical trophy. Other than that, you will be playing for virtual Perfect Team championships. Good luck in these last couple weeks. Okay, let's get started on with the show. This week, small sample size gods. Small sample size gods. And when you think of small gods, I mean, who else comes to mind but our very own Warbot? How you doing? Good to hear you. Speak up. How about now? How about now? Is anyone hearing Warbot? I don't hear Warbot. He's showing as unmuted. Warbot, come on. That's my shtick. Being muted. Maybe exit out and then come back in. Let's try that. People that do a stream muted. What kind of unprofessional. All right, let's try this again. Welcome in the one, the only, the small sample size god, Warbot. How about now? No? You're still coming in muted. That's weird. Did you click the little button on your computer, the little microphone?
Is this working?
Oh!
All right, we got it.
What went wrong there? Was it a button you had to push?
No, it was just different things competing for the same microphone or something. But I think it's working now.
Okay. Yeah, it's working. So, you're coming in loud and clear. Yeah. So how you doing? I see you're sporting the orange today. Is that for the Baltimore Orioles?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's been like a week since the Flyers lost. Now, admittedly, there was an all-star break in the middle of that, but you take what you can get, right?
Well, it's been 2 days since the Oilers lost. I mean, there were 54 days before that, but
I was going to say you're doing okay before then, probably though, right?
Yeah. So you're sporting the Flyers. I've got the Oilers going on here. They play tonight in Anaheim. So let's see if they can start another 16-game win streak. Well, Charles,
wait, Winnipeg's actually pretty good. Might be in trouble tonight.
Okay, I know you were muted, but is your hearing off? I did say Anaheim, didn't I?
No, I was looking at the Flyers. I was saying.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, Winnipeg's pretty good. I think they're like first in the league, but Flyers will, do okay. Anyway, Charles, I've got to congratulate you. I got to give you a little bit of prop, a little bit of, high five, because you've been just killing it in OOTP lately. First of all, yesterday, this Escape from New York team was up in the Laptop Hound Lower Level Leisure Lounge Daily. And you went to the finals up against the Puyallup Vikings. Yes, it is Puyallup, folks. Don't pronounce it any other way. And you swept them. Like, that's pretty good. Congratulations. What's your secret?
Oh, the secret was going Canadian. Did you see the key to our rotation was the only Nolan? I think we had like 3 or 4 Canadians on the team.
Wow. I know, and I think the only Nolan went 5-0. You had Kid Gleason go 5-0. You had I forget who your number 1 pitcher was, but I think he went 7-0 or something like that. So, you did really well. You knocked off that tournament. You got a high diamond choice pack. You got 2 of them, not only 1 because you're Charles. You get 2 high diamond choice packs, and also not only that, but like I said, I got to congratulate you. You are just a machine in Perfect League. You've knocked off your 3rd Perfect League championship recently. 3 for you, Charles.
What?
Again,
OTP 23. Okay, sorry.
Just amazing. Look at this. You were a wild card team, and you went into the wild card and you beat FFS Snails 3-2. That's not easy to do. You went and beat the Vancouver Vibes 4-1. You knocked off the Flying G's, and then you beat the Skinks. No one beats the Skinks, and you did in the 7th game. So that was a perfect team title for you. How do you do that? Can I be that good?
Clearly a lot of luck, because we can't do the same thing in 24.
This isn't 24?
No.
Oh, it must not be, because look who else is in perfect OOTP 23. The Rocky Mountain Gladiators, who lost to this DA guy, the Clarkston Cougars, in the wild card. Could have been you and I.
Congratulations.
Well, and look at the standings here. You were, 3rd in your division, And I was, I was first. 100 wins in perfect. Take that, Charles.
100 wins is pretty solid. Yeah. That's
Pretty
got
good.
to be hard to do. I bet there aren't that many teams all cycle that have got 100, especially kind of later in the cycle when most of the cards are available, right?
Yeah, I know. Got to follow the hockey tradition here. And here we are. Here we are in OOTP 23. And this week, you see all these diamond chat. That's how many times I've been up to Perfect League because I don't think anyone else plays except you and I.
Well, I got to ask you, do you like the hockey tradition where you get a trophy not just for winning the playoffs, but also for winning the regular season? Do you think that's good, or does that kind of bother you as a fan if you
Well,
losing the
it's kind of weird because they call it the President's Trophy, but we have prime ministers in Canada, not presidents. So they should call it the Prime Minister's Trophy because it is Canadian hockey.
True.
So this week, though, in Perfect Team, I mean, we just got to look at the main page and we see all these baseball team logos here. So again, you're killing it. I'm not killing it so much this week. I don't have 100 wins. I got 31 and 57, and you were in my conference and you got 56 and 31. So again, Charles, Perfect Team 23. You're just rocking and rolling. Izadafo's up here as well. Snails. C. Witt is there. I mean, I'm proud to be amongst the elite in Perfect Team. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me the honor.
But do you know who won the very first President's Trophy?
Are we talking hockey again?
Just asking.
You want to talk hockey? We can talk hockey. Okay. First President's Trophy. I'm going to guess the Vancouver Millionaires or the Ottawa Senators.
No, so because they introduced it more recently.
Oh, I'm going to guess the Boston Bruins.
All right. Well, chat will probably help with this, but no, because they introduced it in 85, 86, if that helps.
The Calgary Flames. Am I getting closer?
You got to be able to. We got to get you to get this one.
Oh, is it the Edmonton Oilers and Wayne Gretzky?
It is. The first two were won by Edmonton.
There we go. Caged Wisdom has the best remark so far in chat. I got to give Caged Wisdom some props. Yes, this is the HAWC Report. Yes. All right, Charles. Well, we've got a bounty to lose. So, are you ready
let's
lose
do
a
it.
bounty? Okay.
All right.
Charles, I got to ask you.
I was gonna say exactly where I figured you were. I figured this was an easy one for you.
You gotta be honest with me, Charles. Have you filled out your survey yet?
Which survey? The favorite cards and stuff, you mean? Or different one?
The one I spent 5 minutes on, that one there. Have you?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I can't fill that one out till I see the Tony Suck that comes out and whether I need to put it at the top or whether it's more like number 2 or number 3.
All right. Well,
you have to see these things, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, wait until the last moment. Procrastinate as long as you can. Okay, we are going to go into perfect draft number 720. I know it's not 420, but it's 720. And we do have some rules, as always. And because it's kind of a one-off day, we got some strict rules, folks. You got to read. Please read the banner scrolling underneath Charles there. It matches his shirt. I'm sorry if it's camouflaged a little bit, but it's down underneath there. So this is a one-off bounty draft. All cards must be the same handedness. Your pitchers in terms of their throwing, your hitters in terms of their hitting. And you're going to be given a left or right designation based on your perfect team name, your username, not your team name, your username. So I am Laptop Hound. I am in the L's. So I have to go with all lefties. If your perfect team username is from N to Z, Z it is Z. Don't talk me out of it. Z. Then you go all righties. If you have a digit as the first, whatever you call it, first indicator, 0 to 4, you have to draft a lefty. If it's a 5 to 9, you have to draft a righty. I got everything covered. There's no in between now. If it's a two-way player, they must pitch the same. So if you're drafting lefties, they must pitch left and hit left. Otherwise, don't take them. Does that make sense, Charles?
Yep.
Okay.
And I got a question. Do you think you'd rather be going team lefty or team righty here?
Well, we have no choice because it's my account, so we're going lefty. I would rather go, I think I'd rather go lefty. I think we can get the edge if we go lefty.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right. So designate in the chat if you're in and let us know what your designation in. Are you team lefty?
No, if you have a hitter that bats left, bats left and throws right, if they're not a pitcher, that's okay.
Yeah.
But your pitchers all have to throw with that hand. Your hitters all have to bat from that side.
Right. Unless it's a two-way player, like, double duty Radcliffe, then he has to hit left and bat left. But if you don't plan on using them as a two-way player, then no, as long as they're all lefties or all righties. Okay. I think it makes sense. We've got Cavacom in as a lefty. We've got Sean Saul in as a righty. Pops Dongoria is a righty.
Yeah,
Devils are
I
in.
think that's right. Score righty's easier due to volume, but the lefties there are a lot more lefties that kind of clobber righties probably that are real splitty.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
If we get lucky, it's better to have lefties, but the card pool is going to be a little bit tougher. So let's get to it.
All right. Now watch us get 6 righties in the first.
It always happens that way. Oh, you can only draft odds? Give us all evens. Okay, so Mookie Betts is a righty. We can't take him.
Yeah.
Cy Seymour is a lefty.
Seymour is eligible.
Yeah.
And is he the only one eligible, I think?
Yep.
All right, we should have gone team righty. Yeah, Sport. No switch hitters. So
no switch hitters. Nope. Well, we can't take any pitchers here. Clarence Smith is a righty. Vaughn Hayes is a lefty. And Brooks Lee is a switch. So it's
we have to take Vaughn Hayes, I guess. Is that the only option?
OOTP is telling us who we have to take.
We clearly should have gone righty.
Well, I can't change my name midstream. I am now Zed Laptop Hound.
You could have changed. I bet they wouldn't have noticed.
Oh, this chat? I mispronounced something and it's like, whoa, I'm mute for 3 minutes and they're like, whoa. You don't think they'll notice? Come on. Okay.
All right.
Well, we have
at least is a lefty. He's not that we're getting all the righties. Now that we went team lefty, we're getting all the righties.
I told you it always works out that way. Well, now we have 12 cards and we got at least one pitcher, Tyler Holton. So we're taking him.
Team lefty is clearly in trouble here.
Busmucker, 12 cards, no lefties. Well,
wow.
That's unfortunate.
Well, no, remember, it's there. You'll find catchers and you'll find third basemen because you just need a left-handed hitter. They don't have to be a left-handed thrower.
Yeah, they don't have to throw left-hand. So Cecil Cooper, I think might be our only choice here.
We are really in trouble. We are really in trouble here.
Hey, Warbot, we're not as bad as Fussmucker.
That's true.
We've had choices.
But Fussmucker always manages to beat us and win the bounty anyway.
I know. He'll have 21 players and he'll beat us, sweep us. So we only have 2 choices again. We have had no choice in this tournament so far. We've had to take every single card, Tyler Holton and Cecil Cooper.
This is like that no choice pack we had,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You must take these 6 guys in round 1.
All
Okay,
right,
well, we got
Solometo.
lucky.
Okay, Solometo is eligible and is actually a pretty good option here.
And Wells?
He's a reliever though. Larry Walker should be. I mean, that's the older Larry Walker, right?
I don't know how old he is. He's a PT +1 and he's a lefty. So it's either Walker or Wells. Only 2 choices.
What do you think? I could go either way.
I'm afraid we won't get, well, we will get pitchers, but right fielder, we already have Vaughn Hayes. He could play left. Walker only plays right. I'm going the pitcher, Blue Jay.
All right, let's do it. We're just not getting left-handed options at all here. This is difficult.
Fussmucker, don't listen to him. Okay. You have it much worse than us. We have a few presents under the tree.
All right,
Right
here,
hand.
we at least got some real left-handed pitching options here.
Yep.
We got a few good ones. Higuera is fine. Hand is good. Maybe it's what? Higuera and Hand, do you think? Are there none of the hitters are lefties, right?
Doyle is.
The bat's not awful, but the glove sort of is.
Oliver is. We can take Oliver.
Maybe we just go with the two good. Maybe we just go with the 2 good pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were, yeah. I was going to grab them right off the bat. So, okay. So we have 5 pitchers, 2 starters. We got Frank Tanana available, Danny Hultzen.
Those are both fine. I don't know. I mean, there's not a ton that's.
Barger is
Maybe Barger is good because he plays short and third. Maybe it's important to get him.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
Tanana or
so
Hultzen.
probably Hultzen.
All right. I might have gone Tanana, but we'll go with yours.
Tanana, Banana, Hultzen. He's a newer card. Let's compare. Let's do our
Let's go Hultzen. Let's go Hultzen.
Hultzen.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Jim Brown, are you a lefty? No, you're a switchy.
Yeah, switch hitter. So close.
Okay.
Blankenship's a switch hitter, right? Because I would love to get Blankenship on the roster.
Both Pesky and Gessler are lefties.
Okay, well, Pesky's really good because he also plays short and third. So that at least gets us enough lefties in the infield.
Wow. Okay, don't lie to chat. You want him because of the eye. Don't give us excuses, Charles.
That too, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so there's one.
Yeah, I guess it probably is Gessler, right? There's nothing else.
Yeah, I guess
Gessler's
that's it.
got eye, right? You know, can't complain with that eye.
No, he's an exclusive card too. Oh, Kava, did you get Daddy Wags? Is Daddy Wags a lefty or righty?
He better be a lefty, right? With those splits.
I hope so. Okay, the new Lonnie Smith card. Oh, we can't take him.
Is a righty.
Charbonneau. Oh, we can't take him. Santana.
Lou Gehrig's a lefty. That's an option.
So is Klondike Douglas. We're taking Klondike.
Oh, all right. Okay, so we got our left-handed catcher. That's an important one.
Yeah, and Lou. Okay, good. Sean Marshall and Santana.
Lefty, yeah. Unless wait, hold on, no. If Eval Goodman's a lefty, we probably want to do that.
But okay, yeah, we'll take. Well, we got 3 right fielders now.
All right, so maybe him and Santana or something. Yeah.
Watley's also a lefty, a center fielder.
Watley's not bad. Yeah, maybe. I think we definitely want Goodman.
Yeah, we'll take Watley and Goodman. We can
gotta
win
find
with
a second catcher here.
Willie McGill is a lefty starter.
Don't love that P. Babbitt though.
Okay, if you don't like that Willie, do you like this Willie? Pick a Willie.
Yeah, Hernandez is a little better.
Or if you don't like that Willie, we got 3 Willies
All right. Well, we're taking at least one of the Willies.
Okay. Which Willie do you like?
Cino Perez, is he? Trying to remember if that card had a little bit of BABIP.
Who? I'm distracted by the Willies here.
The live card from the Orioles. No, he doesn't. A bunch of those bronze Orioles pitchers have a lot of BABIP. All right, maybe what do you think? Bobo and Hernandez, or do you go? I mean, McGill's.
Well, we only got
I
a couple
know
more
you
rounds.
really liked Willie McGill from
the
from like your
daily
draft.
where you beat me and you
Well, because we
promised
just
to
kept
put in
walking
Dave
against him.
Stieb, and you didn't put in Dave Stieb in Game 7. Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I did, and my manager said I'm ignoring you and I'm not going to play him, even though you told me to.
Who's your manager? Rob Deer in Headlights? Huh?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Well, usually what I do is, because I keep firing my managers, mid-season. So I usually go with Felipe Alou, and then, at some point, it stops working, and you go to Matty Alou, and then that stops working, and then you just tell Jesus to take the wheel.
Right. I was distracted
Anyway.
with chat. Okay. Bobo. No, we got 2 first basemen. I'm making an executive decision here because I don't want to run out of pitchers. We're going McGill and Hernandez. We're taking a couple of Willies.
We'll try the Willie McGill thing.
Double Willie. What era are we in? Is this regular? Yeah. Okay,
Regular
so
era,
we want a few more pitchers. We got 8.
I would love to find a catcher that can hit left-handed. We're gonna find lefty pitchers. I'm not so worried about that.
Can't take Deasley, cannot take the other catcher, Kyle.
We don't have a lot of lefties here, do we?
Aoki, Brown, Vosler.
Zobrist's the switch hitter.
Yeah.
So Aoki, I guess.
It's either Aoki, Brown. Yeah, I guess unless the only other choice is La Stella.
Well, maybe it's Vosler instead. I mean, we have so many outfielders.
Yeah.
I think Aoki's probably more flexible.
Brown, yeah, he is.
We need to find some lefties here, huh? All right.
Well, let's find out. Okay,
Did we get a lefty catcher? That's most important.
Okay, here we go. One by one. Martin Maldonado is a righty.
Well, okay, but he's not really a hitter, right? So he should count.
Yeah, come on, Chad. Are we really gaining anything drafting this guy?
All right. Well.
Okay, can this pitcher
catch? Exactly, because you might want to try hitting lefty. It might go better. Okay, well, we really need an infielder is the problem.
We got 8 pitchers. We need pitchers. We only got 8, so we got to take Randy Johnson, John Hiller,
and take Dylan. Every pitcher we can take for sure.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
All right,
we got lucky there. And then we got Jankowski, another outfielder.
We probably should have said that the iron round. It's too late to do it now. I was going to say we probably should have said that like the iron round's flexible to fill in, but
yeah,
we'll make it work. All right. Hey, Jankowski is qualified to learn first, second, third, and right, so we'll be okay. He'll back up the infield somehow.
And Kowser's the other one because he can play a lot of positions.
All right, we did it. Kind of.
Well, we got 1 catcher, but otherwise, if we would have got 1 more catcher, we would have been golden.
Well, that's right. That just means we gotta, win some series early, and all right.
You know what's going to win it for us?
Clearly, we should have gone right-handed for this draft.
Well, I should have changed it the other way. I should have went A to M as righties, and N to Z as lefty. Okay, let's just put in our. Okay, we might want to do some funky things here with the because we're all one-handedness, right? Do we want to do anything funky here?
Well, I guess there's no point in pinch hitting.
Yeah. Matchups, pinch hitting. Don't
Yeah,
need
yeah, yeah.
any of those.
You don't have to worry about the matchups.
Okay. We're good.
Let's look at the depth chart. Do we have anyone who can like pretend to stand at catcher? That's the big question.
And the tournament's full, so it might fire off pretty quickly here. Okay, the depth chart. Let's see what OOTP says. Do we have another catcher? Please, 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 please. No.
Not quite. All right. Well,
Unless we have
it's all
a
right.
pitcher that can catch.
We just have to earn some days off, right?
First baseman for Dodd. What else do we have as a live pitcher here?
You could tell Randy Johnson to try catching. That would be kind of terrifying, right?
Yeah, that would be a. You know what? I'm happy with our pitching for lefties that we got.
Yeah, I think
didn't get-
we'll do okay.
If we would have got Chris Sale, that would have been nice. Okay, so I guess we just leave it as it is.
I think what we learned is that next time, if we're going to go lefty, we should just tell everyone to go lefties, so they're all dealing with the same difficulties.
Yeah. Mind you, again, if it paid off, it would have paid off really well. Like if we would have got some of those banger lefties, I think we would have done well. But that's pretty obvious. We got one power guy, Lou and Cy Seymour. So yeah, double check chat. If you're in the tournament, just make sure you go to your hitters and that they're all batting left. Make sure you didn't miss anyone. And the same with your pitchers. Make sure they all throw left. And if they don't, just go to transaction and send a reserve roster so that they don't play.
Well, hopefully we get another left-handed team. Hopefully get like the left-handed side of the bracket.
So, okay, for the beginners out there, because I've heard conflicting stories. If you go to, if you only draft one catcher, can you go to his strategy and force him to be benched?
You can force him to be benched, but it's easier to just take him off the roster. So you can force him to be benched by hand, and then it will sit him and put someone else at catcher. But no matter what you set his tiredness setting at, that won't work. It will end up putting him in the game, even if he's tired, if there's no other catcher to put in the game. So realistically, the options, if you have one catcher, you can just bench the catcher and it'll put a random person at catcher each game. So if you don't think your catcher is that good anyway, you can just take him off the roster. That's one option.
And then it would just throw whoever in, huh?
Then it'll just throw someone else in. Yeah. So then you're stuck without him on the roster. If you really want to actively micro it, you can force bench him occasionally, just force him to take a day off every 3 or 4 games. But now you have to actively look at the tournament while you do it.
Yeah.
Or the last thing we can do is we can just sort of say, let's hope we get some off days. So what's the format of this? It's best
of 5, I think.
It's best of 5. So best of 5, if it turns out if it turns out you're able to get some off days, then that's not so bad. If you like the third game, a catcher is not that tired, and if you get 2 off days after that, you're pretty good. But if you think it's more fun to demonstrate, we can take him off the roster and see what happens. See who
let's do it. Let's do it. It gives some fun. Look at all the outfilders we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, we have plenty of outfielders who can who look. They all want to catch.
Well, they're going to, because Klondike Douglas is off the roster. We're doing a managerial decision here. All right. So has it fired off yet? Oh, it has. So now we got to go and double check our. I think we might have just got it in.
You can also just force bench him for a lot of games. That would do the same thing, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back in here. While we're waiting for that to fire off, Punk 42 AE, thank you for resubscribing for 5 months. And Punk says, over or under on lap muted today? definitely take the under on me, but the over on Charles.
Clearly.
Take the over on Charles. All right, this one's for you, Punk.
Crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. No, you ain't ever caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine.
All right, my Bears GM in PBE baseball. Thank you for re-upping your sub, Punk 42AE. Okay, let's go check, see if we've got our, yeah, Klondike Douglas is on the bench. Good. And we are going up against, here are your round one opening lineup matchups. The Ender Ewoks up against the Wood Ducks. In a battle, who do you like, a Wood Duck or an Ewok, Charles? Who takes that one?
I don't know. I liked that wood chipper joke we had in the on TWIP though.
Yeah. Wood chipper. Someone mentioned they had a wood chipper. Let's not go down the Fargo Road there, Mister. Okay, we got Evie's baseball going up against the Launch Pads. The Denver Bel Airs, run by WX Scott, they are going up against those Squirrels, who I believe is Mr. Black. Mr. Black is in the house. We've got the Dashins going up against those Clowns from Real Vanilla Gorilla, one of the wittiest people I see in chat. Witty. They got the Tacoma Rainiers and the Lord Christic going up against the four-man short Tasmanian Devils. We've got the Charbonneau Chess Safari is in the house. He is going up against those Skunks run by Zen Lunatic. Sean Saul's Rangers are going up against the Crustaceous Creatures from Majungasaurus. And then finally, we got the Bowlers, K. Carlton Lassiter, and they're taking on us for
we got another left-handed team, so that at least feels more fair, you know.
Okay, yeah, we gotta make sure they're compliant.
We got to battle the lefties here.
What team were they again? Bowlers?
Bowlers, right? Yeah, is that we got?
Yeah,
I think that's who we're playing.
Well, they are a little bit understaffed in the pitching department. They've got 10, so if we go 5, it could benefit us. But they do have Blake Snell. So
pretty good lefty option at the top, yeah.
Do we, Charles, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm going to put Higuera number 2 because we're probably going to lose to South now. What do you think?
Wait, are we starting Randy Johnson? That has to be.
That should be wrong. Who do we need to start here?
Well, we may. You know what? If we're starting Randy Johnson, we may be in trouble that game.
Okay. Yeah. I'm making an executive decision. We never win these things anyway.
You're just gonna start Randy game 1. Let him take on Snell.
Yep. Randy Johnson versus Randy Snell game 1. All right. We'll take the upset victory there.
Now, if you're smart, they're gonna switch Snell out for.
Yeah, but it's that psychological warfare, because when I take this off screen, maybe I'll put back Teddy Higuera, and he'll never know.
Or maybe you'll do what my manager did and say, "I know you said start Dave Stieb, but I'm just not going to do it."
Maybe. I'm afraid of their pitching. They got Snell, Price, Baldwin. They got a good. They could take this in 3 very easily with that pitching. Let's take a look at their hitting, though. Oh, boy. They got 2 catchers. Oh, they got a righty, though. Oh, they got to take this guy off the roster. Or not, and not get the packs. Any other righties? They got a few righties here. Woody Held, Caballero. So yeah, they got a couple they got to remove from their roster. No one major. Like, they could definitely do without those 2, but in the iron round, they probably didn't.
Yeah, it looks like they had to take a couple irons that just will come off. It's fine though.
All right, I'm predicting a 3-game sweep
Me too. Wait, in which direction?
for them. Collins, Matthews, Sawinski, Votto, Abreu. Come on, Charles. When there is
Okay,
no
Votto,
hope,
to be fair, Votto is not as good against lefties, and we are going to throw, only lefties at him.
that is true. But
So Votto's a pretty good matchup for us.
okay, side bet, you and I.
All right.
Do they sweep us in? I say they sweep us in 3.
Take him to 5.
We're going to take them to 5?
I think so.
Okay. Loser has to open up a spotlight pack from today. How about that? You want to
All
shake
right.
on it?
Are there actually? I haven't seen them yet. Are the spotlights out today? Oh, sure, we'll see. Are there spotlight packs? We're not going to get the simultaneous thing very good, but we got a deal.
Okay. All right.
Are there spotlights up yet? I hadn't seen
Well,
them.
let's go check. Let's go check on the official website here. That's usually posted right away. Today, Rich Grisham has put up the spotlight. Only 16,000. That is a heck of a deal, folks. 16,000 to have a chance at today's cards or the Future Legend 4 or the Hall of Fame Elite. You could get a Felix Bautista, Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Archie Vaughn, Andrew Jones. We've got the Chris Sale, Nick Anderson. Is that right? 16,000? Surely that can't be right. That just sounds like too good of it. Charles is busy buying packs right now, by the way. He's like spending his 1,000,000 points on 10,000 packs. That is crazy. It's like Christmas, 16,000 for a spotlight pack.
Yeah, usually someone's in chat has got this. Like if Snailman's in here, he usually would have he usually works out the value, or is it Adolfo sometimes. If not, I can try to calculate it during a break. But
yeah, while we are heading to a break right now, all the perfect cards are 0.44%. So that will come into play. And we've got 10 perfect cards. So you got a 4.4% chance of getting a perfect. But we're going to take a break. We will be back. We're going to have trivia a little bit later. We'll check in on the bounty. And oh yeah, there were some cards today released. We'll take a look at some of those.
Were there?
So back in 2 minutes time. All right, we are back with Warbot, and before we left, we were looking at the spotlights that have just come out, I believe, in the last couple of minutes. And on the forum, you can go check it out. Let me paste that in the chat here. If you guys ever want to bookmark this and check every week at the odds and the cards that are in the spotlight, simply go to that site there and you can find out all the information. So, Charles, you got any kind of, any kind of idea in terms of the value on these?
It's a little tough to tell until you can sort of guess what the new cards are going to be worth, because you don't know what they're going to be worth in the shop yet. But if it's like most spotlight packs, then if you buy them in the first half hour after they come out and sell everything immediately, you're probably making some points. And then after that, it'll drop off pretty quickly.
Okay, so I mean, be honest with us, Charles. How many did you buy during the break? Couple?
Nope, haven't bought any. I'm actually, are they even up yet? But in any event, haven't bought any.
Okay. This would be a spotlight pack. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're up. It looks like they have kind of an old generic logo up there right now. But maybe I need to log out and log back in.
I'm getting the same thing. But actually, I'm kind of excited because what do you think those OOTP 22 cards are worth? Like for your team score, right? Because they'd be rare.
I never thought of that before. There are a lot of good possibilities. And you know what? We have the ability now to go and check that, right? We have the ability to go and check those old cards because we can go to the PT viewer that I put earlier and we can go and say, what am I going to get? What am I going to get in those packs? Well, I mean, you never know. OOTP 22. We got the all team cards here. Ooh, the Dan Bruthers, Reggie, Tony, Jim Sheckard, Josh. Oh yeah.
Got some good options there.
We got the Jackie. Oh yeah, we got some good options.
I'm going to guess that Dwayne Ward is one you'd be excited about. That Blue Jays.
Yeah, well, I like that Jacob deGrom and the Chipper Jones up there too. So you wanted a chipper. There is a chipper. You can get them in these packs. Oh man, the memories of going through and checking out some of the cards we used to play with back in the day, a couple years ago. All right, trivia will be coming up after the next break, and we've got a little twist to the trivia today. We are going to focus on the theme of small sample gods, and a little bit of a twist that we'll get to a little bit later. And of course, we'll chicken in the bounty as that goes on. But for now, let's go and take a look at a couple cards here, Charles, and let's take a look at the silver. Any silver from today that you kind of want to go, and anyone in the chat that has a question about the silvers, any specific card, let us know in the chat.
I was just grabbing a fresh copy of the database. So
okay,
let's see what we got here.
Yeah, and this is my least knowledgeable area of Perfect Team is the silvers because I do not play anything with silver. Even the laptop daily is all bronze and iron, so I have no clue what is meta, what's not meta. Is David Ortiz still meta in silver?
I wish he were. We need like a big 100 overall David Ortiz somewhere in here, don't we?
Oh yeah, Big Papa.
You could do like a small sample size, just playoff edition, something like that, 2004, or maybe just like only against Tigers, or is that? That's not the right way to say it, is it?
Cava uses them though. Cava still uses the Ortiz. So, and a big shout out, thank you to WGPC for the follow. If you're at work and that was blaring and all of a sudden the boss is looking over at you with one eye, just it's a ringtone. Just say your wife's calling or your spouse or your partner or whatever. Yes, thank you, WGPC, for the follow on the stream today. Okay. That bought you a little bit more time.
One of the silvers that looks pretty good to me is this Butch Henry. Figured you'd like that one. You remember him as an Expo or
Montreal Expo?
There,
absolutely, right? Yeah. Okay, let's find Butch. There he is. Okay, let's put it on the screen. Present. Okay, so a lot of control, good pitcher, BABIP. For those of you that play in silver, low silver card here. And Charles, again, left-hander, which I'm sure helps him as well in silver. Is this going to
Yeah,
be?
there aren't that many lefties in silver right now. So maybe Carlton, but there haven't been a lot. So that's another reason that you're kind of going to like this card. But I think this is one that can even play in full silver. And even more so in an early era, because the things that he's weakest at are the things that as you start to go in a little earlier era become less important. So like, a lot of people are looking at 1968. I guess this card's not eligible because it's not a special edition for the PTCS. But if there were some
Right.
other silver tournaments in a similar era, this would be a really good shape. So he's kind of a
56
good
stamina,
modern
though?
card that'll, yeah, well, look, if he had all the other things on the card and 80 stamina, he'd be a gold, right? You're getting him in a low silver instead.
Yeah.
But that's not as bad as it sounds because a lot of the silvers right now are similar. So he's got 56 stamina, but Tyler Wells has 57 stamina. Ranger
Yeah.
Suarez has 50. Wilmer Flores has 53. Alex Wood has 55. So a bunch of the cards he's competing with are similarly low stamina.
Okay, give us one pitcher that's in your model slightly above him and one that's slightly below him for lefties.
I actually don't have a silver lefty that's above him. I think this is just the silver lefty I'd want to run.
Nice.
Carlton's probably the other one to compete with, especially in modern, but it's a little bit different shape. But I think the card that I'm trying to see if I can find a more direct comparison. Okay, maybe a card to put him up against would be Alex Wood. It's still not quite the same shape. It's a little bit of a unique shape for silver, but maybe you could put him up against a card like Alex Wood. But I think Henry just has a little bit more of everything.
Oh, love the Expo love here, and sounds like we now. Are you talking full silver or low silver?
Well, I've got him as the best low silver option, but I would also run him in full silver.
Excellent. Okay, you silver players out there, go grab yourself a Butch Henry, pull him in a spotlight. But here's where if you open a spotlight pack for whatever it was, 16,000, and your lowest is a silver, and you get this guy, you're not too upset if you can get this guy as your spotlight card. Cool. Expos, Butch Henry, 1994. Got another silver for us there that you found interesting or
Yeah,
chat?
so there's another one that Rubio Durazo is kind of an interesting one also.
What number is he?
He's 79 overall. I don't think I'm going to end up playing him, but it's kind of an interesting story.
Ooh,
Um,
yes.
because he has these really weird splits. And, if you just took all of his good ratings and put them on one side of the card, you'd always be playing him. Where I end up with this card is I think I'd be interested in running him if I were going to run 1 DH against both lefties and righties. But there are so many incredibly good hitters with big splits in silver that I think it's better for me to use the extra roster spot, and play a platoon at DH. And as a platoon, then I've got better options than Durazo. But if I'm just playing one card both ways, so for example, if you're in a draft and you don't really kind of get to construct a roster, or maybe if you're in a cap tournament that's going to have both lefties and righties, and so you're not going to platoon, then this is a more interesting card. Just because the splits are weird.
Well, and not only, but the splits are weird because it's like a roller coaster back and forth between lefties and righties, what he's better at. So it does make that an interesting. We don't see a lot of cards like this. It's either split one way or the other, it tends to be. But this one kind of goes back. Do you say, based on his profile, is he better against lefties or righties if you had to pick one?
He's going to be better against righties, but the cards that are excellent against righties are so good that he's actually he kind of doesn't end up as a top option on either side. They're just some incredibly splitty cards. Like Cecil Fielder just clobbers lefties. Cal Daniels just clobbers righties. So if you're allowed to play a platoon and you want to put those two cards together, that's going to get you a lot more than using one roster spot for Durazo.
Yeah, I mean, he's a better Mark
but if you had
McGuire
only one
against
roster
lefties.
spot, he's interesting.
Yeah. No, that's a fun card. I like these kind of cards where you have to think a little bit and go, wow, that's kind of a strange split. Okay, got any more silvers for us? Or chat? Any more silvers you want us to look at?
I'd say those are the two that stood out the most for me, but I'm happy to look at anything else chat wanted to ask about.
Otherwise, we'll move on to a gold. Lonnie Smith. Cavacom is asking about Lonnie Smith. Okay. We had a choice to take him in our draft, but of course he's a switch hitter or righty, I think. Huge BABIP. This is a D block kind of player with the BABIP there and the gap power and the contact. A lot of speed. Not the greatest at outfield, but again, it's low silver. So where does he fit in, if at all?
I think the problem for Lonnie Smith is that you've got cards like Cal Daniels. So if you want to put up Cal Daniels maybe as a compare, or I can also try to put one up. 1 second.
While you're doing that, Sporer got the Henry with his spotty, and Spec Bug got the Beltre with his spotty. So yeah, I mean, for 16,000, why not?
I definitely like the Beltre. Definitely, I really like Henry for silver. Beltre, I'm not sure what to do with. We can talk about him and Schmidt later, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later. And again, while you're kind of looking that up a little bit, a shout out to Bad Omen. Oh, Bad Omen. Okay, I get it. It's like Mr. Audit's mediocre team. You have to sound it out a few times. And great days, happy people. Thanks to both of you. Who let the dogs out for you two? There you go.
So here, I can give you Cal Daniels kind of for comparison. So the problem is that Lonnie Smith defensively still probably wants to be a DH. I think I was able to share that. Did that work or did that not?
Yep, there it is.
Okay. Yeah, so if you just look at Cal Daniels for comparison, versus righties, you're just getting a lot more out of Cal Daniels. So if one of them is going to be a DH, a card like that probably just gives you more, and they're both eligible for low silver. And Lonnie Smith is still not good enough against lefties that you're willing to run him on both sides. If you're worried about lefties in that format. So I think that's just sort of the problem that he's going to run into. Or even a card like the Rubio Durazo we just looked at, if you get up to full silver, or Carlos Santana. Probably he can play first base, but he's going to have big splits.
All right. Let's move on to let's do a gold here, and then we'll look in on the bounty. So any gold standing out for you that you want to cover here?
See, I was just starting to look at these, so it takes a sec.
Chat again if you have any gold requests here. Let us know on who you want to get a little bit of an evaluation on.
Not seeing anyone immediately jump to the top. On both sides, Pinheiro looks pretty playable. Yeah, that Joel Pinheiro looks pretty playable. He does have low stamina, so that's something to kind of look at with gold. But yeah, he looks pretty playable. I'm seeing if there's a low gold, maybe.
It'd be a song with gold in it, like "Stairway to Heaven." Well, we could get Warbot to sing. Do you know guitar, Warbot? Have you ever learned guitar?
No, I could do like piano, and then as a kid I learned to play a cello because they made us take a musical instrument, and I wanted something that was too big to take on the bus so that I could wake up a little later and have to be driven to school. So, you know, so I
How
learned
about
to play cello a little bit, but
how about the splits on a card like Jeffries at third base here? And again, Is It Awful says third base defense isn't as important as you do. Low gold. Is he viable as a low gold third baseman against the righties?
let me look. I just ran them overall. I was now going to look at, kind of the splits. So let's see. Versus righties. I'm guessing it's going to be tough if you're willing to play Geloff there, because Geloff is just so good. But let me take a look. Yeah, so I think I'd still rather play Zach Geloff versus righties, just because even if you're not worried about the defense, you're just getting so much with the bat. Now you could play him at another position. Could play him at second, for example. But even then, I think there are just a few of these other really splitty cards that are probably better. For that matter, if we want to give more Tigers love, you could even play the Carlos Guillen against righties or something like that.
Okay. Well, let's go check in on the bounty here because a couple games are in the books and it is a best of 5. And again, we got a little side bet here. I said we're going to get swept. Charles thinks we're going to go 5, and the loser has to open up a spotlight pack immediately.
Neither of us actually seems to think we're going to win, though, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, you have a little bit more hope than I do. So here we go. In round 1, 2 games are in the books. The Ewoks and the Ducks are tied up. The launch pad's up 2-0 on Monterdon. Squirrels and Bel Air's tied. Dachshunds and Clowns tied. Rainier's Devils. The Lynx and Skunks tied. And then down 2-0 are the Rangers and the Gladiators. We lost 6-2 and 8-2.
So it's not even getting better.
So we've got...
That sounds like what you're saying.
Solometo is going up for us, and they got Lady Baldwin going up for them. Get ready to rip that Scotty.
Not a good sign.
Get ready to spend those 16,000 points. We're going to hold you to it in about 6 minutes. Okay.
No, we're definitely going to make this interesting. Wait, so you said we're going to get swept, and I said we were going 5. What happens if we lose in 4? Do we both open one, or?
Yeah, we both open one because we're both losers.
All right, that sounds fair.
Okay. So any other golds you want to talk about, or you want to go right to the diamonds?
I mean, look, I'm just looking quickly, a couple of the splits, but I think it's just that there are a few other cards that are interesting if you can run them somewhere. So for example, the Vanderwall that was put up is, interesting versus righties. I think if you have Shin-Soo Choo, who's a limited edition card, then if you've got Shin-Soo Choo and then you're going to play, say, Cal Daniels still as your DH versus righties, then I think he just gets squeezed out. But if you don't have Choo, then this is a card that might become an option. Or in something with a gold floor cap where he only costs you 1 point, but you can't play Cal Daniels because he's not gold, then he might become a little more interesting. Just trying to see. There are a couple of the... Yeah.
Anyone
go ahead.
I'm just going to ask before you say that, Charles, anyone in chat know if we've got a card with a bigger eye difference than this card here? 84 difference between left and right eye. Wow. That, I don't know if I've seen a card with that big of a difference. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, that is a card that screams small sample size, which is exactly the point of the set. So yeah. Maybe that's a good one to ask you about. Are there any cards that you were expecting to see in this set that you didn't, or were sort of thought you might catch?
Well, some of the ones that we went through on the pre-twip show with Ezra there, some of those small sample size. One guy, Billy Grabowicz or whatever, Billy
Horowitz,
Grabowicz.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe him, maybe that one guy that had the 3 home runs against Dwight Gooden in the Chicago Cub player. Can't remember his name right now, but
There
there's been
are
a
a
few.
few actually. Maybe I'll mention a couple when we do the quiz because it comes up with a couple. But one I didn't mention in the quiz that would have been fun is Herb Score. Had this incredible start to his rookie year and everything, and then had an early just incredible start, and then got hit by a line drive, and that just completely derailed his career for a while. And like a pre-line drive Herb Score, it might have been a really fun one to do.
Well, again, really vanilla gorilla. Didn't I not mention that he's a very witty and he comes up with some good one-liners? And apparently, Spore, he got a chuckle out of that one there. Even Nightbot said, "Whoa, buddy, way too many capital letters there. I might have to revoke that VIP status, Spore." Nightbot does not like that. Spore's eye for talent. Yeah. Okay.
So you're asking about Hoskins. I think if you have all the cards, I've got Hoskins just a little bit behind. The one that I'd look at more actually, if you're kind of trying to add, well, a DH. Actually, my model kind of is willing to just run him in the field because the bat's so good. Is this Cody Ross? Because there are a lot of lefties, especially in low gold right now. Like in low gold, Trevor Rogers, Ryu is eligible for low gold. You'll still see some Dallas Keuchel, maybe the Solometto that just came out. And this is a card that will absolutely tee off on lefties. And the funny thing is that the bat is so good. I assumed what you would end up doing is sticking him at DH. So what you're then going to have to do is sit one of Frank Thomas or Torkelson to make it work. My model kind of says you could consider running him in center, even with that defense, because the bat is just so much better versus lefties than any other center field option out there. I think I'm still going to be a little scared to do it, but it's worth considering.
And that's strictly low gold, not full gold.
Yeah. Well, no, I think you could even try it in full gold. Because a lot of the same lefties are out there in full gold. So you're still getting to face a lot of lefties right now.
Excellent. All right. We'll cover some diamond and some perfects a little bit later. Of course, a lot of cards still to come. We're going to take our break, and when we come back, trivia. So don't go anywhere. Trivia is coming up with a twist. See you guys in 2 minutes' time. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back, and neither of us is muted. And we do have the next bounty game in, Charles. So will Charles have to open up a pack right now, a spotlight pack, or do
we
we?
got we've got to at least made it interesting, right?
I'd say we made it interesting. Game number 3, we scored 8 runs, and then we held on for an 8-7 victory.
Tried to blow the 8-0 lead and couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, Lady Baldwin was lit up. The lady was on fire, like literally on fire, because lit up. 8 earned runs, 2 walks. We had Solometo come in, give up 3 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Cy Seymour was our player of the game, and we go to a game 4. So if we win game 4, I will be opening a pack. If we win game 5, we both will be opening a pack because you said we're going to lose in 5.
Who will? Who have we got starting for us?
We have Danny Hultzen. Or we go Willie McGill.
So it was a tight decision between Hultzen and Tanana. We get to find out if we made the right call.
That's right. And they have Stubby Overmeyer. I mean, if you want, we could go with Willie McGill.
Well, I think it's all right. We'll go with it. We'll
go with Hultzen. Okay.
I notice our bullpen is also really tired.
Yeah. Wells hands at 100 and Wells is at 89. So as long as Hultzen, that's all we got, unfortunately.
So we need Hultzen to go deep for us.
And let's find out who's been catching.
It's almost like not having a catcher, is tiring out. Oh, who's been catching for us? We should check.
Oh, can we bring him back in?
No,
can't bring him.
Can't do that.
We should have just benched him. We should have benched him because now would be a good time to bring him in.
Now it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's been catching for us? We can take a look.
Game number 1, it was Doc Gessler. He might be all 3 games, but we'll check here. Game number 2, it was Doc Gessler. And game number 3, yeah, so same guy.
Go to fielding stats. Let's see how he's been doing for us. Okay, so he's thrown out 1 out of 2 base runners. That's actually really good.
That is. Yeah.
He's no good at framing.
Yeah, we should have. That was a mistake on your part there. We should have.
He's one of these pitch yankers that Sporer was telling us about. He's a yanker instead of a framer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, Klondike. Unfortunately, we should have benched you, and then we could have brought you in for this situation. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Any sweeps? Let's see if there were any sweeps. Cavacom has swept his series. The Creatures have swept their series, and otherwise they're still all going on. All right, let's do a few trivia questions. Charles, why don't you tell the chat that are new to trivia what they need to do while I get it set up.
All right, so same thing we do every week. All you got to do is mouse over the screen on the right, click on Quiz Kit, select Manage Access, and give it permission to see your username so that if you end up on the leaderboard, you can get recognized and get some packs. And today there's a twist, as you were saying. So we'll let you.
All right, let me get it. Let me get the instructions on the screen here. Small sample size is the theme of the week. And don't forget PTCS on Saturday. And after the PTCS, Sporer will be running a treasure trove set. So more new cards coming out in just a couple days' time. I'm so excited because we didn't get any bronze or iron today. Charles, I'm excited for Saturday. Okay. Instructions showing up for everyone?
Showing up for me, at least.
Okay. Chat, before I get the first question going, are you seeing the instructions there? Someone else confirm? Well, yeah, I have to open a pack regardless. So it's just a matter of whether Charles has to open a pack. Okay, it looks like we're ready to go. So let me go and put the trivia sign. So those people that, have us on mute, which is probably 85% of the population, they at least know we're playing trivia. So there you go. There you go, guys. There we go. It's trivia time. Unmute, unmute, unmute. Here is the twist. We thought because it was kind of weird set, we're going to have weird prizes today. We're going to give out 5 packs to whoever finishes second and second worst. Instead of first and last, you have to be second or the second worst to get the packs today. So that's gonna be fun to watch the leaderboard as people try to purposely get one wrong and move up or move down. Charles, let's do this. We got 17 questions. Let's go for let's go through maybe 4 questions before we check back on the bounty.
All right. That sounds good. So, we're talking about these big outliers and things like that and small sample sizes. So we figured we'd get some questions about that. So are we ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's start with the biggest outlier season in MLB history, probably, which was a year when runs per game jumped to 7.39 from 5.11, and batting average jumped to 309 from 245 the year before. What year was that?
1888, 1908, 1894, or 1920? For those of you playing for the first time, you're rewarded or punished based on how quickly you ring in. So if you ring in early and you're right, you get more points. If you ring in early and you're wrong, you lose more points. And again, prizes are going to whoever finishes second best and second worst. Because it's an oddball set this week, we are being oddballs. Three people got this first one right, Charles.
Oh, that was a tough one. Okay. All right. There's going to be a tough set, it sounds like.
Great happy days, people. Yeah, I'm not sure if it plays on the phone or not. Probably not. But I don't know, Charles. Do you know anything about that? Is anyone else playing this on their phone?
I think someone said they've tried to play it on the phone in the past, but it didn't always pop up or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Chat is asking us to stretch, Charles. We need to do a quick little stretch here. So you play sports. Lead us in a stretch.
What do we got here? Should we do like get the elbow going? And I don't know. This isn't going very well.
All right. There we go. Thank you, Intelati, for getting us to stretch a little bit here. All right, so question 1 is done. Let's see who got that right, showing the scores here. Lord Christic and the real Teddy O were the quickest to ring in. Cavacom was the 3rd person that got it right. So real Teddy O is in second right now. And in second worst is Mondella 79. A lot of low scores here. A lot of low scores.
It's all right. Well, all right. We're making the next one easier. How's that?
Okay.
So in 1894, what player set the record at the time with a batting average of 440, breaking Tip O'Neill's record?
Breaking the Canadian Tip O'Neill's record of 440. Was it Tuck Turner, Billy Hamilton, Hugh Duffy, or Nap Lajoie?
440 is a lot too, isn't it?
That is a lot. Ty Cobb must have had a better, he must have hit over 440, right?
No, it's 440 is a lot.
And by the way, one of the top cards, was it last year in OOTP? The PTCS card?
I think it was
The
last
answer?
year. Yeah, the Hugh Duffy.
Yeah. I saw it was Hugh was C Wit, I think, had this card, and everyone was giving him a hard time. He enjoyed that Hugh Duffy card. It was pretty good. So Hugh Duffy is the answer, and RDT24 said we haven't stretched enough. He says we still look a little bit. We don't look loose enough yet, Charles. We don't. So we got to go back and one more time. We got to do a little stretch here.
All right. Back a little, and I don't know. How do you want to do this? It doesn't work very well with the camera on stream, does it? All right.
Okay, I think we're all limbered up.
We need a better way to do this with a camera.
We'll practice it for next week.
All right.
Okay, so second place right now overall is Cavacom. He wants to end it right now. No, not going to happen. And worst second place is contestant 298, who needs to connect their account to their Twitch name. So hit the little quiz kit button over on the right-hand side and allow access to your Twitch name. Question 3.
All right. Now, Duffy actually had not just a 440 batting average, but a 433 BABIP that year, which is also pretty impressive. And he has a 100 overall tournament edition card from 1894. And what BABIP rating did that 433 get him?
So you see, Witt would know this one. He's got the Hugh Duffy. Is this the card I think you're talking about? The tournament edition card?
No, there was one this year. There's a Hugh Duffy this year.
Oh. Is it 97, 104, 108, or 116? What is his overall BABIP tournament card rating from this year?
Because we do have an 1894 Hugh Duffy in there. Although he's got a Braves logo. That's a bomb. Oh, well.
Okay, answers are in. Pretty splitty. We had a pretty splitty card here. All over the place.
There's a card from a little earlier in the cycle. So, if he were released later in the cycle, then it would have been, probably an enormous BABIP rating.
Well, Spore was the quickest to get that one. The real Teddy O was second there.
Well, Spore, okay, I guess Spore made the card. So Spore really should know what rating he put on the card, right?
You know what? I bet he doesn't have them all memorized, Charles. No, I don't think he has them all memorized. Macosta is second overall after the third question, and second from the bottom is Firenor. Man, look at the bottom scores there. Ooh, it's going to be a battle there right up till the last last question. All right, one more, and we're checking in on the bounty.
We tried to get fewer that you could just, look up if you had Baseball Reference here. So, you tried to
yeah.
So actually,
no asking.
1894. Right. Speaking of 1894, what team actually had to relocate in the middle of the season because their fancy all wooden ballpark burned down?
Louisville, Cleveland, Chicago, or Philadelphia? Which player was smoking on the field? Better to smoke than to have a knife on you. Who was that guy last week? With the knife.
The Oyster Burns, yeah.
Oyster Burns, yes.
No stabbing, but
no stabbing, but we got fired.
Actually, the ballpark we're talking about had to be rebuilt several times. It was kind of a mess.
Is it still there? Like the location?
No, they finally took it down around 1950, but it was the Baker Bowl, or what became the Baker Bowl. So and we fooled everybody.
Well, does anyone really know anything about Philadelphia, Charles? Come on, that's not surprising. What do they have where that park was now? Because you're from the area. You know what's standing there? Is it like a parking lot?
There, yeah. Let's see what I don't know what's on the side of the Baker Bowl. They eventually took it down around 1950. But it had several things, you know, so it had a fire and then they rebuilt it. And then I think it collapsed at least once or twice. You know, there were a lot of, it was a neat park, but there were a lot of problems with it.
All right. Well, while you're looking that up, let's go check in on the bounty because game 4 is in. We got to see if we're still alive or not. After game 4, the Wood Ducks have advanced. The Clowns have advanced. The Launch Pads are in. The Rainiers are in. The Skunks are in. The Creatures are in. We have 2 game 5s, the Bel Airs and the Squirrels, and the Bowlers and the Gladiators.
We made it. Okay, now all we got to do is
8-2.
throw game 5. So can we start a pitcher that has like no control and no PBABIP or something?
Sure, we will. So will that Randy Johnson starting in game 1 pay off? Because he would have been the pitcher here. And let's see who they're throwing in here because they've got Cole Irvin. I'd say it's a pretty even matchup.
We got a shot. We got a shot.
And their bullpen, they only have 10 pitchers, so this is where we could take advantage maybe of it. But ours is even worse probably. David Wells is at 94. Brad Hand is at 94. And otherwise it's Willie McGill. So they've got to will their way to victory here. Man, you could be right. We got some tired hitters. And they are not as bad. So they're a little bit more rested. Whichever team wins, good luck in round 2. Because in round 2, you're going to be facing a rested 3-0 Creatures team.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
let's do a couple more questions.
And then they had a fire. They rebuilt it, and then they had a collapse in the bleachers, and then they rebuilt it again, and then like rotting timbers. They had a lot of problems with this park. But it was a neat place to play baseball, and it was one of these with a really short right field, and then, you know, kind of a tall fence like Green Monster style. But it was only like 280 feet to right. And it was only 300 to right center.
And did I miss it? What's in its place now where it used to stand?
Not much, it looks like. Just, yeah.
Okay.
There's a historical marker. That's about it.
Well, let's go one more question, and then we'll find out if we've been eliminated from the bounty.
All right, one more question. So with all this offensive explosion in 1894, actually something that gets a little bit lost were the efforts of what pitcher who won the Triple Crown?
All right. Was it Cy Young, Amos Russi, Kid Nichols, or Gus Waring? Who won the Triple Crown that year? All pitchers we've seen quite often in Perfect Team. And again, just learn so much from playing out of the park baseball. Just so much about guys I never knew anything about before.
Yeah, this is actually a guy we could still get a really good card of maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what cards we have of him so far. Let me see. Not much, actually. So this is actually definitely a player that that there's room to have a really good perfect card of still.
Well, 3 people were able to get that one right. So congratulations to Fire Anor, Specs Bug, and Macosta 1973. They rang in fairly quickly. So after 5 questions, Specs Bug is currently in second place. And in second last place is Sean Sol 10. So again, we got quite the battle going for second and second last. Well, Charles, game 5 is in.
Did we get him?
And we'll find out if we have to open packs. But let's head to our break now. Back in 2 minutes' time, and we'll check in on the bounty result. See you in 2 minutes. All right, well, back. Welcome in, everyone. Hope your Thursday's going well. We had the TWIP show today with 27 unusual performing cards in Major League Baseball. We had a pre-TWIPed card, Early Bird, with Daddy Wags that is now in bronze out there in packs. And we have our bounty game number 5 in. And
how'd we do?
You know how I said you've had a really good week? You won the laptop daily. You won perfect team in 23. You were right, Charles. I hate to say it, but Charles, you were right. We lost in game 5.
I was hoping we'd win this one, though. But all right. Well, congrats to who's got the Candlepin Bowlers?
K. Carlton Lassiter is the winner of the 5 bounty claim packs. Taking us out, Mr. McGill gave up 7 earned runs. Their pitcher didn't fare much better, but it was better than ours. So they got off to an 8-2 lead, and we came back, but just couldn't do anything there. So you guys are playing for in-game packs: ducks, pads, squirrels, clowns, bowlers, creatures, skunks, Rainiers. Good luck the rest of the way. And you know what that means? That means I've got to go and get one of those spotlights.
Let's see it.
Let's see what we get. We've had an Adrian Beltre pulled already. Anyone else opening spotlights? Any other good cards you guys are pulling there?
Well, there are some of the new ones. So they're the Sale and the Schmidt. I'm sure if you open one of those right now, you'd get a pretty good price on them.
There it is.
Pulled 5 perfects and lost PP on it. That sounds unlucky.
Really? 5 of the perfects in this set, in this, I didn't think there was a perfect. You can't lose. It's worth at least 20,000.
Well, I guess we
I'm
don't
not-
know how many packs he had to open to get to that.
Oh, right. I thought it was 5 perfects and 5 packs. No. That wasn't the case. Okay, let's see if we can find it hidden here. Spotlight pack number 40. Come on, Diamond.
Probably just
Come
right
on
at the
down.
end, right?
It is a gold, so it is guaranteed gold. Hopefully it'll be a gold from today. Name me one gold from today, Charles, just one you can remember.
Well, we looked at, actually that Pinheiro looked pretty good, right?
Okay.
Maybe that's a good one to go for.
Show me a Joel.
All right, you get that one's godly.
Godly it is. So there we go. We
You
got
know what? If you list them right now, I bet you could get more than your 16,000 back, because there's some
Okay.
pretty good orders up.
I'll try and make my money back. Let's go 1993. There we
I
go.
think that works. Just get your
Higher or
points back.
lower? Is that a fair price?
Yeah, I think so.
Give me a number, Charles. I'm willing to go lower or higher.
I bet you'll get that. Yeah, that seems
Okay.
reasonable.
Chat, if you want godly on your team in this small sample size gods synchronicity, take a drink. It is listed. Okay, so at least I made my money back and a little bit more. Also, Almora, good iron card. Wyckoff was really good at the beginning of the cycle. Moscaso and Gary Templeton. Okay, I don't mind. I don't consider that a loss. It's at least a break even. Let's get back to the trivia, shall
All
we?
right.
And
Next question.
number 6.
All right. So one more, just because I love these pitchers that can hit. Which of these pitchers hit 8 home runs in 1894, which is actually a lot for that era?
Okay. And while we're doing that, Kidneys has requested that we stretch.
This is really a bad idea on stream.
And by the way, I do have more channel point redemption activities, but I've turned them off today. Otherwise, we would not get through this in our usual mini Warbot style.
I think we better turn off stretch the way this is going.
Yeah, I think we better
turning off stretch. Yeah.
Okay. Turn it off before everyone starts to redeem it. Yeah. Stretch, where are you? I think I only allow so many redemptions.
One of the best hitting pitchers in history, this guy.
Okay. Where is it there? Answers are in. And 5 people were able to get that one right.
Put up a 902 OPS in 1894.
See, a lot of people like the stretch redemption, and it's so cheap. We've got a controversy going on here, Charles. Justice for stretch. Okay. Are we good?
All right. Should we go on?
Yep. Sharks Boy was the first to ring in. Real Tedio was second, and Specs Bug is still in second overall. And second worst is still Sean Sultan.
All right. Now this next one is actually a card I thought we might get today. I'll have to ask Sporer whether he's thinking about doing something like this in a future set. So one of the things that happened during World War II was you also got a lot of these like small sample size, small sample size seasons. So we talked about Duffy and, his incredible batting average, but actually He was topped by several Negro League players, and the record is actually a 471 average at age 37 by what player in 1943?
Charlie Smith, Oscar Charleston, Josh Gibson, or Mr. Vargas?
471 is, yeah.
Jeff Steel Flex is in the house. Mr. Jefferson Steel Flex, good to see you. Things are going okay. Chat's a little bit unruly. They want us to keep stretching. I guess they like to watch our body move around. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to hold it against chat. But we have taken off. Jeff, you missed the controversy of us taking off the stretch redemption. No more today. Can you redeem your stretch hound biscuits? We will not be limber after the show. All right, it is Mr. Vargas that was the right answer for question number 7.
Yep, this is a guy I did not know a lot about until I was kind of looking into this. I mean, 471, you know, I know 1943, you know, it's the middle of the war, so things were a little watered down, but even so, 471 is a lot of hits.
Does he have a card? That name doesn't seem familiar.
No, I don't think we've ever had a card for this guy in OOTP, have we? I haven't played, you know, the whole time, so but I don't remember one in the past.
Okay, we're zooming along for the next 5 questions here. So quick, next up.
All right. So Vargas actually spent most of his career in Cuba, but he did a 1931 barnstorming tour on a Cuban version of what team that actually had many of its players wear fake beards?
Was it the All Lap team, the All Kidneys team, the All Cavacom team, or the All Charles team? Spend away, kidneys. Highlight those messages. I can see them easier now. I'm telling you, I got 20 Hound Biscuit redemption opportunities, but not today, my friend.
Yeah.
Not today. But I like that purple. I like the purple highlighter. It is House of David. That is the correct answer.
Yeah, there's a great, all right, let me see if I can, I don't want to take us too off topic, but you can find a great image of some players like Babe Ruth wearing a fake beard to go play with House of David.
Really? Wow.
You should be able to find one if you...
Charles, this is a speed round, I said. Come on. Enough fake beard talk.
All right, we'll go to the next question. I'll give you the link after that. All right, let's go on with some more extreme outliers, because the other extreme outlier season, of course, was 1968 for the PTCS. And I was going to ask you about Bob Gibson, but everyone knows he had a 1.12 ERA. My question is, who had the second best ERA in the majors that year? 199.
199. Who was number 2?
Here, I'll put a link in the chat for you if you want to show people Babe Ruth in his House of David beard.
Oop. The wrong one there. Where are we here? Oh, look what I just dug up. Good old times. Good old times. If you're new to OOTP, yes, the guy in chat here highlighting all his messages was once the former co-host.
We got to get him back on. Yeah. Well, okay. To be fair, you've never seen the two of us in the same place at the same time, right?
Only if he's embedded in a little snail that moves across the screen.
Do that.
All right, answer is in.
So it'd be another card you could have made a good, like, one-hit wonder of, actually. I don't think he ever had another really big season like this, did he? I can see if I can find that. But
RDT, that would be me. And then the other guy is kidneys.
he had a couple other decent seasons, but never anything close to this. So
Okay. Total scores in second place right now. Spec Bug is doing really well, holding that number 2 position for the 5 packs. And second from the bottom, Hawk Moon, a 101, always in contention at the bottom there. Next.
all right. And what Pittsburgh pitcher put up an ERA of just 2.05 while actually giving up the most walks in the majors in 1968? So it just goes to show you walks don't hurt you. Wait, I can't say that on stream. Never mind.
All right. Is it Bloss, Moose, Veal, or Ellis? Giving up the most walks in the majors in 1968. I would have immediately thought Doc Ellis probably would have been my guess, but we'll see if it's right.
This was a young Doc. This might have been his rookie year, or this was a young Doc Ellis that was on that Pittsburgh team.
Answers are in.
But I think whoever is doing the Bob's theme team had better get this one right.
Well, there's 2 Bobs to choose from, though. You take Bob or you take Bob. Bob to Bob, Bob,
True,
Bob,
but
Bob.
I'm saying, you better know your Bobs if you're running a Bob's theme team.
Oh, Tesuiji knows his Bobs, believe me. He knows his Bobs like anyone would know any card in the card pool. Sporer got that one right. First one to ring in there correctly. Teddy O right behind there. And Cub fan Steve, Mondella were quick to ring in. Spec Bug still number 2. And Hawk Moon still second from the bottom.
We got a few of these. We got our Bob, we got our Bobby. There's a little theme going here, right? We're talking about Bob Gibson.
Are you saying there's another Bob coming?
I don't know. We'll have to see what the next question is.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So speaking of some really good one-off seasons, who won a batting title with a 361 average, but it was his only season over 290?
Was it Bob Garr, Bob Cash, Bob Olerud, or Bob Pendleton? By the way, if you missed it, I opened one spotlight pack and I got, which card did I get?
You got Godley, I think. Is that right?
Godley. Right. I got Godley. Yeah. All right. Answers are in. How many went John Olerud? One person. Was that Cava? Cava probably just went John Olerud. Blue Jay fan.
Yeah. Well, Olerud did have that one season, right, where he was like close to 400 for a while. And
see, do I know my Canadians or do I know my Canadians?
I think you know your Canadians.
All right, so let's do one more question here, and then we'll take a look at a couple more cards, and then we'll finish off the trivia.
All right, one more of these like big outlier seasons. Who put up 6.5 WAR in 1970, and actually negative 0.7 WAR in the rest of his 7-season career?
Wow. Was it
one really good season?
Billy Grabagurgurgowitz? You did this on purpose. Mr. Varsalis, Glenn Beckert, or Cleon Jones? Billy, Zoilo, Glenn, or Cleon?
We'll just go with the first. All right, we definitely need a theme set. Players that Lap can pronounce.
I told you that it would have to be like 5 parts. It'd be like your next PT Elite, except the opposite. PT Lap Delight. We take the light out of Elite. Ed Oat is a good choice, Fussmucker. We need an Ed Oat card.
Please be Billy so Lap has to say his name.
The answer is Billy Gabarkowitz. See?
There you go. It's all right.
There
We
you
got
go.
the tougher one to pronounce coming up in a couple questions, right?
Oh, great. Yes. Probably the one that has to do with drugs. Okay.
We could do the one where we could give them the hockey question we cut, if they want an extra. Except those
Specs
names you
Bug.
could definitely pronounce.
Specs Bug still in second, and Guanchis. There we go. Guanchis is second last right now. So you can still get in this and get 5 packs for finishing second, because all you need is about 40,000 points. So we still have 5 or 6 questions left to go. Okay, Charles, I need a break from pronunciation. So let's go and look at some cards. Who do you like in Diamond to look at? Yep.
Let me see. What I should have been doing was running these during the break, and then it would have, that would have been like the professional thing to do, right?
It's hard to find efficient help these days.
It really is,
Kidneys would have had this like down pat. He'd be like, come on, Lap, let's move on to the next one.
I know. Kidneys just would have loaded up his pitching sheet, and then that would have been it, right?
Exactly, yeah. The one he makes millions of dollars off. You should see his tax receipts. Whew.
Yeah. That's the one. So Low Diamond looked pretty good as this Dinelson Lamet. I think he wasn't even featured in like the whole, like when you opened packs, he was like featured on the stadium scoreboard in PT 22, I think.
Oh, was he really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he was featured until he wasn't.
So a good pitcher BABIP control or home run suppression. So again, looks more like a closer profile that you would expect. And maybe a lot of people would use him in the closer role, but as a low diamond with a 59 stamina, or do you even dare put him as a starter?
I think I'll try it if the bullpen's good enough, because if you see him as a starter, I've got him as the best starter. If you see him as a bullpen option, he's kind of further down the list. The best relievers are probably going to be ahead of him. But I think I'm going to try to start him. Maybe even run an opener, try to get him to face some righties.
Yeah, opener is a good option for him. And again, he's got those 2 really good pitches, so he would fit nicely in the bullpen if you put him in there with that fastball and slider. So Lamet's really good, and you're talking about low diamond, not full diamond.
Yeah, the jump from low diamond to full diamond right now is just pretty big.
I thought. Give us one more diamond.
So actually, I like a bunch of these pitchers. So if you look at some of the new diamonds that came out, both Clemens and Cisco Carlos, I've now got is better than the Al Spalding that just came out.
Oh, really? Oh, so let's go with Roger.
Now Spalding is limited edition. Whereas if these cards are packable, eventually there are going to be a lot of copies of the others in the game, and there's still only going to be 25 Spaldings. So you don't quite want to just compare the limited edition with the packables, but yeah, I think I've got them both a little bit ahead.
So both Clemens and Carlos ahead. Are they both righties? Looks like they're both righties. They're both high diamond.
Yeah, a little lower stamina, than someone like Spalding. And with Spalding, you're also getting an advantage in caps that you can use him as a two-way player, and these are only pitchers. But just as pitchers in Diamond, you know, I think for a while we were finding the pitchers in Diamond were kind of all the same, you know, at the top, and you could pick, you know, almost out of a hat from like 10 or 15 of them. I think now Clemens, Carlos, and Spalding are a bit ahead of the rest of the pack.
If you're in a neutral Cavacom stadium, who would you choose between Carlos and Clemens if you had to choose one in a neutral ballpark?
Probably Clemens. I hate to say it, but probably Clemens.
So Clemens slightly ahead. And is there any kind of ballpark Carlos would be ahead of Clemens?
I think it's more eras than anything else, because where Carlos falls behind is stuff, and then he has better pitcher BABIP. So as soon as you move to a little bit earlier era, then you'd rather have Carlos.
So 1980s and before?
Even 1980s, yeah, because
Yeah.
they're pretty close to begin with.
Yeah.
The other one that's interesting is this Max Scherzer. So what makes him interesting is just these enormous splits. I mean, this is by far, like, not even remotely close, your best option versus right-handed hitters. But obviously he's a lot weaker against lefties. And so this is one of these cards where my model's going to punish him more for these splits, because I'm just going to assume that managers are smart enough to hit left-handed hitters against him. And what Izadafo likes to point out to me on stream a lot is that might be true in sort of the last rounds of a tournament, but in the early rounds you get a lot of managers that don't really platoon, and you're just seeing the same hitters both ways. And if this card gets to face some righties, you know, he's pretty close to the best option in the game. So
Now,
I think this is a card you could actually start, but you're kind of taking your chances with whether the opponents are going to hit lefties against him or not.
And that's what I was thinking. If I own a lot of the cards, I'm probably going to put him in my bullpen. He's got two really good pitches, and I think he would be a real. If I have all the cards, what do you think about a bullpen or again an opener situation with him?
So I'd love to run an opener for him if I'm running him. The problem with putting him in the bullpen is if you use him in a high leverage spot, people are just going to pinch hit against him. In other words, even the managers that sort of are using a default lineup, usually the default settings will use a pinch hitter late in the game in an important spot. So then he really is going to face whatever lefty pinch hitters are on the bench. So you have to figure out how to use him. But if you can find the right way to use him, if you can find a way to get him mostly against righties, he's going to be incredible for you.
But as RDT, I don't know if RDT is being like, I don't know High Diamond at all, but are there a lot of left-handed bats in High Diamond, or are they mainly righties or split?
Well, let's see. So at first base, you're almost always going to see some kind of platoon. You'll see a card like Norm Cash, at first base or something. You'll probably see JP Crawford, the PTCS card, in a bunch of tournaments. Enos Slaughter, Bill Hoskins, Evan Carter. You might see some Griffies in center. So I think there are lefties in Diamond.
Would you suit a ballpark around him to help out his weakness against the lefties?
Well, the thing is, you can only do that you can only really do that in league.
In league, yeah.
But there are some very right-handed heavy parks in league play. But in league play, the problem is once you go up to the perfects, there are cards that are about as good as this versus righties, but a lot better versus lefties. So you don't have to hide them as much.
True.
So I think there's a good reason this card is a 99 instead of 100. But that means you're kind of looking at it in tournaments. So you'd have to get a tournament that's in a very right-handed park.
Okay, so answer me this. We're in a modern environment. We're playing a High Diamond tournament in a neutral park. Are you putting Max Scherzer or Roger Clemens in?
Definitely putting Clemens and Cisco Carlos in, but I might put Scherzer in as well, right? Because you get a 5-man rotation.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, there's the judges' chambers tonight. That's one where Scherzer's eligible, and I think you could well play him, especially if you can find a way to get him an opener.
So what you're saying is in high diamond, these are 3 of the top 5 pitchers now.
I think Clemens and Carlos definitely are, and Scherzer really depends on the righty-lefty split and how managers react. If there aren't enough lefties, Scherzer is the top pitcher. If there are enough lefties, he's like not a top 25 pitcher. So this is one where the model isn't going to help that much, because the model's kind of saying, you know, it really depends on who you're facing.
Interesting. Well, guys, we're going to finish off trivia. We're going to open some packs, play our 9-inning baseball game, and we will be back in 2 minutes' time. AZ Axel, if you're still in the house, are you going to be on at the top of the hour? Let us know. Are you going to be on at 5 p.m. Eastern? Because we can come into you, because that's probably when we'll be done. We'll be back, guys, in 2 minutes' time. We are back for our last half hour here. Again, AZ Axel, if you're in listening distance here, let us know when you're going to be firing up. If you're going at the top of the hour, we should be ready to come right into you. If you're going to be a little bit longer, let us know. And we got finish off trivia. We're going to finish off looking at the 4 perfect cards that came out today. And we're going to do our 9-inning baseball game and see who emerges victorious. But first, let's finish off the trivia for those that are waiting. And you mentioned about the House of David and the fake beards.
Oh yeah, we got you got Babe Ruth in a beard. Yep, in a fake beard.
I thought that was Abraham Lincoln. That's not Abe. No, that's Babe. Yeah, playing with the fake beard, and very un-Yankee-like to be playing with facial hair.
Yep.
Okay, Charles. Let's
exactly, Shedio. Abe Ruth. That's exact. That's exact.
Abe Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty cool picture. Could you imagine having a picture like that autographed by Babe Ruth, that'd be worth hundreds and hundreds
Well,
of
and it
dollars.
says sold on April 5th. What did it say it sold for? Now I'm curious. It doesn't say.
Doesn't say. Make offer of 828 or more.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty cool picture there. Nowadays with Photoshop and everything, you don't know what's real and what's not real. But I guess if it's a reputable auction site, you trust it.
Yeah.
Let's get these people some packs for second
right.
and second worst.
Some more small samples. How about this? Which of these players, speaking of like one-off seasons, hit over a quarter of his career home runs in a single season with 147 OPS plus, sandwiched between two much less impressive seasons?
Was it Ken Caminiti? You love that card. Ed Sprague, Richard Hidalgo, or Louis Gonzalez? Question number 13 of 17. So we're getting close to the end here as you guys are battling for second and second worst.
There were a few of these like one-off seasons around 2000 or 2001, weren't there?
Yeah.
Where players would, go in the off season and really put in a big workout regimen.
Yeah. Wow, it was that time period where controversies come up as well.
Little bit.
So Richard Hidalgo is the right answer. And Cavacom was the second quickest to ring in. Landis was the first, Matty Steele's third, Sharks boys, but the overall score counts the most. And Specs Bug is he's doing his mathematical calculations here, and it's keeping him in second place for most of the tournament. So M. Costa, no packs for first. If you missed it, packs are only going out for second and second last. We're doing something unusual today to fit the theme. So right now, Guanchus is second last, and Specs Bug is second. 14, 15, 4 more questions. Next up.
All right. Now, I swear this is completely unrelated to the previous question. Which of these substances is not banned by Major League Baseball?
Ooh. Closterball, cretin, androstestodione, or flumoxymesterone? How you like that, chat? That's how you say those names. Right. All right. Which is not currently banned by Major League Baseball? You got it, Fussmucker. You got a prescription? You need something filled? I can help you out. Is it a red pill? Is it a white pill? Is it a blue pill? Is it a yellow pill? Just tell me the color and I'll go look on the shelf and pull that color out for you. It is creatine. Is that how you say it, Charles? Creatine?
Probably not, but that's fine. We'll go with it.
I'm having a chat with you after this stream about tough pronunciations. Jeez. Give me something easy.
All right. Well, we'll give you an easier pronunciation on the next one. How's this?
Okay, after 14 questions, we have Matty Steeles has taken over second overall. Spexbug, who has held that number position, has gone to number 4, but very close. We got a 3-way battle for second. And for second last, we got about a 4-way battle for second last.
And again, I promised that those last 2 questions were in no way related. They just happened to come up back to back.
Yes, coincidences do happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
All right. Now we did
15.
have this Butch Henry card. So speaking of some really small sample sizes, what early 1990s Phillies infielder in 27 career plate appearances against Butch Henry hit 652, 667, 1565 with 6 home runs in just 27 plate appearances?
Wow, he had his number. Was it Dave Hollins, John Crooks, Kevin Stalker, or Mickey Moriarty? No, Mickey Morandini.
Do we have cards for all four of these? I'm trying to remember if all four of them are
Stock
currently
limited
in.
edition. We definitely have a Crux. I'm not sure
Got a
about
Croc. I know we have the Stalker limited edition. I'm not sure, I'm not sure I've seen a Hollins this year. I'm trying to remember.
creatine. Creatine. Thank you, Macosta. It is creatine. Love the support from chat. I like Fussmucker. Fussmucker. All right. Speaking of Fussmucker, where is he on the leaderboard? He's usually near the top here.
He might be going for the bottom today.
No, Fuss does things right. He goes for the top. He does things. He wants to win this thing. So Dave, not Collins, it's Dave Hollins.
It's Dave Hollins. May not have been so good at hitting against the rest of the league, but when Butch Henry was in.
Wow. It's amazing how players can have that success against one certain pitcher.
Oh, there are a couple other of these modern ones that are like was it Goldschmidt that just was like would just clobber Tim Lincecum? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Goldschmidt or Votto? Who was it?
I'm trying to remember now. Okay, Chad will probably know, but yeah, there are a couple of these just,
So
for whatever
Fanatic thinks
reason,
it was.
you hit the one, yeah.
Well, Jeff Steele Flex is a St. Louis Cardinal fan. He will know if Goldie clobbered Lincecum or not. Or, Ezra Denny, if he was still in chat, would know, but he's probably napping right now after I got him up early this morning. Second place is Matty Steels, and second from the bottom is Guancha still in second last, but Andy is only a couple thousand points behind. Sean Souls there, Cavacom, with 2 questions to go. Oh yeah, there's Fussmucker, number 31. He is racing to the bottom.
The one I was going to include, except I couldn't say anything good about the guy, Roger Clemens got Cecil Fielder out 44 of the 46 times he faced him, including 21 strikeouts. Fielder just had a couple singles. So there are a few of these. Oh, thanks for that. Okay, yeah, Lincecum 15 for 28 with 7 homers. So yeah.
Well, we're down to the final 2 questions. And as you know, if you've been playing trivia over the weeks, Charles makes up the bulk of the questions when he's here. And then I like to add a little bit of Canadian flavor to end off the trivia. So here are your final 2 questions. Question number 16. You may have heard me talk about Dave Stieb once in a while, the odd time he comes up on my stream.
Who?
Dave Stieb. Dave Stieb. Dave Stieb. Dave. So he appeared, as you may know, in 7 All-Star games in the 1980s. He was a very successful, the best pitcher in the 80s by that era. And in those 7 All-Star game appearances, he pitched 11.2 innings. How many earned runs did Dave Stieb give up in those 11.2 innings?
So
0,
your small sample size card.
1, 4, or 11. How many earned runs did he give up?
And this would have been against the best lineups in the 80s, basically, right?
Yep, the best National League lineups. Yep. Dean Stieb, yes. Dean Stieb. How many people do you think got this one right, Charles? Give me a guess.
Oh, I think it's got to be like half of chat. I mean,
you think? If you didn't know any better, if I didn't give you the answer last night, What would you have thought? In 11.2 innings of work, how many earned runs?
I would have guessed like 4, I guess. Yeah. I would have guessed
You
like
went with
4.
4?
Seems about, but I would have got
All
it
right,
wrong.
chat. Take that, chat. Only one earned run. That's right. High five for Dave Stieb against the best hitters in the NL. He only gave up 1 earned run in his 11.2 innings of work. Way to go. And it was not the White Sox, Dave Stieb. No, it was the Blue Jay, Dave Stieb. So with one question to go, we have Sharks Boy in second place by 10,000 points. Tough decision by Sharks Boy. Do I get a 0 on this? Do I guess? Do I not guess? And then in second last, Andy was Luke with one question to go. Andy, you called it at the beginning. You said this is yours. Let's see. One more question. Ready, Charles?
I guess M. Costa is going to try to get it wrong very quickly and hope that that's enough, right?
Yes, yes. Here we go. Dave Stieb only gave up 1 earned run in the All-Star game, and it was a home run. Who hit that home run off of Dave Stieb? Was it Darryl Strawberry, Ryan Sandberg, Dale Murphy, or Mr. Carter from Montreal? Who hit the home run off Dave Stieb?
See, if you gave me Roberto Kelly as an answer, I would have had to think about it.
Okay, that stings. That name is not allowed to be mentioned on stream. Charles, you know better.
All right.
We refer to him as RK. All right. Does anyone remember the 1984 All-Star game where Dave Stieb gave up the only earned run in the 7 appearances? And get ready. Synchronicity. Take a drink. Because it was his fellow Canadian opponent, Canadian team opponent, that hit the dinger off of him. How well did you guys guess? Bad Expo. Bad Expo. Okay, here are our final results. Let's find out who our pack winners are. Second place will go to Sharks Boy. Sharks Boy, I don't even think answered that question. Let's see. Did Sharks answer it? I don't think so. He took the 0 on it. So Sharks Boy got that one in the bag there. So Sharks Boy, send me a whisper. Let me know what your Perfect Team account name is. And if you don't know how to whisper, just click on my name there in chat and send me a whisper. And in second last place, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? It is Hawk Moon with the last question winner there. Hawk Moon. Oh, we got to check. Hawk Moon minus 15,000. Andy was Luke rang in too quickly with the incorrect answer. So that got him out of second last place. So Hawk Moon 101. I do know your username because you have come last many times in this trivia. So you are a
That's a good
name.
thing. I promise that's a good thing.
Yes, that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Okay, thank you guys for playing. Thanks, Charles, for coming up with a creative set this week. And let's quickly go through our final 4 perfect cards and 2 relievers, a starting pitcher.
See, I thought you were going to say, let's go through our final 4 in the laptop, tournament. All right. Well, we'll do the cards first.
Yeah, we'll do the cards first. Okay, 2 relievers. We've got a righty and a lefty. One is much better against the pitcher, BABIP. The other one's better with control and home run suppression. Stamina is about the same. Give us your take. Are they both now must-haves in Perfect League as closers or bullpen guys?
They both have pretty big splits. And for a reliever, that's usually going to be a problem. I still think Gonzalez, because he has sort of enough of the pitcher BABIP and he kind of has enough control, I still think he might be able to survive a little bit, especially just because there are so many righties in league play that, anyone who's like left-handed and has sort of a pulse, you kind of have to think about. And I think this is a card that's probably a little better than Zach Britton, where people are still using him because they're desperate for lefty relievers. So I think he might find his way onto some rosters. I don't know that he's going to be a high-end card unless there are a lot of lefties for him to face. On the other side, Anderson just needs a lot of righties, and it's tougher to find that, I think. So I think it's less likely to be able to make him work.
So, but is he jump ahead of a guy like Eric Gagne in the bullpen?
No, I don't think so, because Gagne can at least face some lefties.
So just a little bit too splitty for that effective role then.
Yeah, I mean, normally Gonzalez would be too splitty to think about as a lefty also. The only reason I'm even thinking about him is it's just so hard to find left-handed pitching that, in something that's like lefty heavy, you can sort of find a way to make it work. But I can't really do the same thing for Anderson because there are sort of too many lefty hitters. Because they're all the right-handed starters, almost everybody is kind of setting their lineups up anyway to face right-handed pitching. So a righty that's really splitty, it's just almost impossible to survive.
Gotcha. 2 more to go. And as you mentioned, the Laptop Daily is getting close to the final 4. So let's take a quick peek there. Again, this runs every day, and the winner of the month that has the most points, which means you place in the top 4 the most times, gets 20 standard packs sent their way. And today we've got some familiar names. We got GT Sundown stamping his ticket to the quarterfinals by beating the Eagles, who were in the Final 4 yesterday. We got Washington Park Rangers, who defeated me in round 2. Thank you, Sean Sultan, defeating me in round 2. Congratulations. You beat Mort's team, and you are going to round 4. We have the Mill Basin Yankees, another really quality manager. They swept the winter. We've got the Portland Sea Dogs beating D-Block's Eagles. We got Makadkar sweeping the Grouches. We have the Llamas and Music Lessons winning in 7 over the Squid. We have the other side of the tracks. I haven't seen that name before. They took out Fire and Oars Hornets. And then we had this guy beat that guy. This guy, Charles, escaped from New York, taking out the Ironmen. In the quarterfinals, Washington Park leads 3-2. The Mill Basin Yankees are going to the semis. They defeat the Portland Sea Dogs. Makadkar beats Music Lessons in a sweep. And we've got Charles going once again to the Final 4 for 3 days in a row. Charles goes to the Final 4 as they defeat other side of the track. So waiting on one more semifinal game or a quarterfinal game before we get our official Final 4. Congratulations, Charles. Good stuff.
Thanks, guy. It's always luck when you kind of get some good options, but I feel like I keep running into the same teams in this that are doing well. So
yeah. And it can't just be the cards, because they can't be getting the same good cards all the time. They got to be, I don't know. I'll ask you now, is this a tournament where you do anything different with your sliders? Like, you don't have to say what, but do you do anything different with your sliders in a 1985 tournament like this?
I'm not doing too much that's different.
No.
But I think probably you could if you were to think a lot about this format, there's probably some way to make the sliders a little better than modern. I'm not really doing that though.
Okay. So again, for those of you that are new because you just tune into the HAWC Report and you don't see it other times of the week, well, this is what I'm running with the Laptop Hound Daily. It fills up pretty quick. Usually by 6-7 o'clock at night, we get full, and it's really competitive. We got some really competitive teams here And if you finish first on a day, you get 4 points, 3 points for second, 2 points for third, 1 point for fourth. And then we track it for the full month of February. And if you are at the top of the leaderboard, then you will get those 20 standard packs at the end of the month, plus 5 random packs for anyone that qualifies in the top 4. You're put on the wheel and we spin the wheel and one person will get 5 packs. So yeah, just something fun to do and keep track of. And like I said, Charles has won this yesterday. He finished 4th the day before and is currently now in the final 4. So get involved. It's all the bronze and iron cards that you have to choose from in the Laptop Daily. 2 more cards. One of them is ripping it up for you in OOTP 23. And that is this guy, Mr. Mike Schmidt. One of your best OOTP cards. Was a really good card last year. And you mentioned earlier about the third base position and Mike Schmidt coming up again. Well, here he is. What do you got to say about Mike Schmidt?
Well, I think the comparison you're going to want to do with kind of the top end, if you're going to spend a bunch of points on a third baseman right now, is really Schmidt versus Beltre. You know, so that's probably where most of the comparison is going to come in. And, you know, Schmidt, of course, is, you know, really good versus lefties. But, you know, there aren't a lot of lefties in the game right now. I think that's kind of the key problem that everybody's having. And that's why a card like George Brett, which Brett must be the card that's been out, that sort of has survived at the top end of the meta the longest, I think, just because of this. You know, that's why Brett sort of has been around so long. So I think because of that, I think Beltre is the one of the two that most people are going to end up picking, would be my guess. That Schmidt really needs to see lefties, and then also most of the pitchers in Perfect League right now are really good at suppressing home runs, and so that's kind of going to hurt his power. So I think Schmidt, for me, is going to end up more as sort of a tournament card if you have every card in the game. If you're only buying one of the two, I think it depends on the price because they're reasonably close. And you're making a little bit of a guess because there's one more week of content coming out next week. We don't know if that's going to be the last week. But you can kind of ask, who are the starting pitchers going to be in the end of the game? Like, you know, when the music stops and there are no more new pitchers coming out, are we going to see more lefties than we do right now? You know, are there going to be a handful of like big left-handed pitchers that you can kind of think of that maybe are missing, or are most of the missing pitchers right-handed? You know, like people have mentioned Ty Cobb they think is missing, and probably a card like that's coming. Cy Young, you know, maybe there's a version of that who's coming. That would be a righty. But are there some lefties that you think really need another card, you know, by the end of the game? The more lefties you can think of, the more you should, you know, start to look a little bit at a card like Schmidt, especially for tournaments. And the fewer lefties you can think of, the more you just go with Beltre. So I think my guess is Beltre is the one of the two that I'd look at.
If you were going Schmidt and you had Brett, would you platoon him or would you play Schmidt both ways?
In tournaments, I would play Schmidt both ways, but in League, I would tend to go toward Brett. Just because in League, the power kind of really goes down in value because the pitchers are so good at suppressing power. And also the more, you know, because in League, the way it works is that the statistics kind of get normalized so that it looks like Major League Baseball. So what that means is, you know, like 194 power looks like a lot. But if every card in the game has power, you know, between 170 and 194, you know, it's not so much more than 100, right? That kind of is really the gap that matters. You know, if it turns out that everyone in the game has power, you know, between 80 and 100, or like later in the cycle, everyone in the game has power between 180 and 200, it ends up working out the same. So you're really comparing it to these other cards, and there are a lot of other cards in the game right now that also have a ton of power, and there are a lot of other pitchers that are really good at suppressing homers. So for those reasons, I think I'm going to end up with Beltre, but Schmidt. There are situations Schmidt could become better depending on what other cards come out, is what I'm trying to say.
So in a nutshell, you're saying Brett, Schmidt, more tournament play, Beltre, more league play.
Probably, yeah. But it depends a lot on the price. The last I looked, Beltre, even after being in spotlights for a full week, I think was still a 600,000 or 700,000 point card.
Oh, I think it's going to come down quite a bit with 16,000 spotlight pack. I think we're going to see him come down to that high 300, low 400 level in the next couple of days. At least for a couple of days.
I think we'll see. So I think if it turns out they're the same price, I'd go for Beltre. If it turns out Beltre is going to cost still 500,000 points, but you can get Schmidt for 150,000, probably I would go for Schmidt if I have something else I want to use the remaining points on.
Well, speaking of left-handed pitchers, to end off, the new cards today, left-handed Chris Sale. Now, you asked earlier, said, well, it's kind of a guessing game. We have at least one more week of content coming out. We don't know if anything is going to come after that. Of course, we got a PTMS set of prizes coming out too, but that's just, for a small group of people. Last year in OOTP 23, I think at the end game, our best 5 lefties, correct me if I'm wrong, were Cliff Lee, Randy Johnson, Rube Waddell was probably up there, Lefty Grove, maybe Fernando Valenzuela might close be in the mix there. That was pretty much it. Am I missing any lefty? Cavacom, if you're still here, you play a lot of OOTP 23. Am I missing any lefties from last year?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about kind of who are the lefties, Sandy Koufax had a turn in the meta. Carlton had a little bit of a turn, but not so much. I guess there's room you could have another Carlton. Warren Spahn had a PTCS reward, but didn't have kind of another card that was out there. We had a Kershaw that was, that kind of was up there for a couple months. And maybe Randy Johnson's the one that so far we've been missing, that there have been Randy Johnson cards, but we haven't had a Randy Johnson yet that was like a must-have meta card. So
that's the guy I'm thinking
at the end.
That's the guy I'm thinking we need, because we had the PTCS one, I believe, and we had one other one, but not the meta that we all expect there to be with the Randy Johnson, and maybe even a Lefty Grove. I think there's a tournament edition.
I think you could make a really good Lefty Grove, and depending on kind of the way you put it together, you could almost argue for making like a really high-end Tom Glavine. For whatever reason, we haven't had one of those, at least since I've been playing Perfect Team. And we've had Glavines, but we haven't had like a really high-end one. But I think you could find a way to make that card high-end if you were trying to get lefties in there. But yeah, this is one, like right now, prior to this, I probably had the top lefty as the McClanahan from the PT Elites, and this should be a better card than McClanahan. So anywhere, McClanahan's also a bit splitty like this card, but anywhere that you were planning on running McClanahan, you could run this card instead, and it should be an upgrade. And I think we're also, if there's only one more week of content, I mean, this feels like a must-have card to me because it's hard for me to imagine that you're going to get a bunch of better lefties that come out next week. So I think this almost has to be a card that plays in the end game. So that you'll eventually want, as you mentioned, Perfect Team 23, we're talking about Perfect Team 24 content and things have gone on, but a lot of people are still playing PT 23. And, so the cards that you kind of have at the end are cards you're going to want for the next year also. This seems like it's almost certainly going to be one of these endgame meta cards. I don't know
I
if it'll be the
agree.
top lefty. Maybe it'll be number 2 or number 3 if you can, come up with some others. But it seems like it's going to be on an endgame roster somewhere, so it's worth going after.
Let me throw a little twist at you here. So let's say a lot of people, a lot of top end players get this Chris Sale card. Who are some of the batters out there available now that might have the most success against Chris Sale? Is there anyone that your model can kind of come up with and say, okay, these are the batters that can hit him better than others?
Well, so looking at what he does well, it's definitely going to be a righty. And it's probably going to be a more BABIP and gap power righty than home run power righty, just in terms of kind of where his weaknesses are. So, someone with that profile. And then you're looking at kind of the best right-handed bats that are out there right now. So like a card like Acuna has plenty of power, but really it's more kind of, hits and gap power that are doing well. So that's one that might be a good fit. But just generally really good right-handed bats that don't just rely on home run power.
Well, yeah, big set, 27 cards. We went through a lot of them today. And again, more cards coming out on Saturday night, but that will be the lower level cards, anything probably from iron, maybe up till gold that we're going to see. So tune into Spore. He'll be doing that on his channel, I believe, after the PTCS. D-Block will be covering the PTCS. Spore will be covering the PTCS. Cavacom will be covering the PTCS. I think Tetsuiji will be covering that. So there's going to be a lot of options for you guys to tune in, like the red zone coverage. You can hop from place to place to look at the PTCS coverage. Charles, I didn't want to go past 3 o'clock. So how about for our baseball thing? Let's just both open 2 spotlight packs.
All right,
How's
we can
that
do
sound?
that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have some fun. Let's see if we can get one of these cards, and we'll kind of declare a winner based on what we pull.
All right.
4 points. 4 points for a perfect, 3 points for a diamond, 2 points for a gold. And of course, 1 point for a silver, which we're guaranteed. But we might get more than 1 silver. So let's go.
And I guess we don't need to give a point for a new card because we're guaranteed to get a new card here.
Yeah, we're guaranteed to get a new card. So we're just going to go with the different levels, and let's bring up see if I can find it here.
Share this again too then. All right.
All right. So once it spins here, you call it heads or tails.
Always go heads, right? We're going heads.
It is tails. So that means you're going to open first. I will open second and fourth. And if we need a tiebreaker, then we open one more to break the tie. So you are going to be up first. I'm just going to go and buy my 2 packs. 1 and 2. So 4 points for a perfect, 3 for a diamond, 2 for a gold, 1 for a silver. Just going to play 2 innings. Unless we tie it up, then we'll open a 3rd pack.
All right.
All right, let's do it. Come on. Chat,
here we
if
go.
you're still here, give us some emotes.
Or something on stream here. It is, what's a gold?
Gold.
And a silver.
That's
Gold and silver.
Gold and silver. So 3 points for you.
It is Tommy Troy.
Tommy Troy. Tommy Troy.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I think we can do better than 3. Come on, chat. Fanatics giving the coffee. Come on, chat. Get those emotes going. Let's hype this up. Come on, will us a perfect. Get us a perfect card.
Tommy Troy. All right. So we got a gold and a silver. How about you?
All right. It is a gold and a silver.
All right.
It's 3-3 after the first inning
hoping you
here.
get one of the new golds then. Right, because Troy was from last week's set.
Was it? Was this last week?
No, mine was from last week's.
This is today. I
Hoskins,
believe.
all right. It's
Yeah.
a new one.
All right. I don't play gold on this one, so I'm going to put it up for, I don't know, 9333. None have sold yet. So we'll see if someone wants that Phillies. You're a Philly fan. Maybe you want to grab it. Okay, 3-3. Open up your next one.
Oh, hold on. I got to back out to do it because they seems a bit more successful. All right, here we go. Let's get something good here. It is. I got
Three
silvers.
silver. Three silver.
Three silvers,
Nice.
but nothing nothing spectacular. All right, not so good on these packs. How about you?
Well, don't close your screen yet because we might have a tiebreaker here.
Oh, okay. I hope not. I think we're going to see like a big perfect here. Let's see like the Chris Sale or the Mike Schmidt.
Well, I need a diamond to tie it up or a gold and a silver. Okay. No, I don't want Mike Schmidt. I want Chris Sale. I want to rub it in the Red Sox
All right.
fan dumb. Okay, here we go.
Well, Sale's good.
Spotlight
I mean,
pack 40.
Sale's probably going to be a 1,000,000-point card for the first week because that's what the similar ones are.
It is a tie,
That'll
Charles.
do it. That'll
It
do
is
it.
a tie. Oh no, it's 4 points. 3
wait.
points. It's a tie.
Oh, is it a tie?
Yep.
All right.
1 diamond equals 3 silvers. Okay, this is going to be from one of the 3 most
I feel like
recent
a diamond
sets.
shouldn't equal 3 silvers. I think the diamond should beat 3 silvers. But all right, we'll go extra innings then.
Francisco Rodriguez. Not a very valuable diamond for sure.
Oh, that Pastor Paredes is also a nice card.
Yes.
That's one of the newer ones.
Yep. I'll throw it on the card shop if anyone wants it for 333.
All right, one more pack. Then I'll reopen it. One more pack.
Tiebreaker. We're going extras.
So
Just
do
wait.
we start
Don't
with a
open it
runner on
yet.
second base, or how does this work?
You got to put your no, just regular rules.
All right, here we go. Let's see something big here. It is a gold and 2 silvers though, and 2 silvers. So that might be enough.
4 points.
Todd Helton.
Um,
All right, I'm not doing so
Hall
well
of
with the
Fame.
spotlights, but 4 points might be enough.
Well, I need a perfect to tie or a combination of other cards, so it's going to be tough. And then the loser has to open one, so I might have to open 2 in a row
rooting for
here.
the perfect though.
Okay, Chris Sale.
Let's see a Chris Sale here.
Chris. Well, you will win the matchup because I only pulled a gold, and it is going to be John Vanderwall.
Not a bad gold to pull though.
Nope. And I don't play gold here, so let's put him up for 9333. I don't know what's is this a new card?
One of the new cards, yeah.
Okay. So we'll put him up since he's a new card. 5,000 less than the current price. And since I lost, I've got to open one more. I know Izadafo, when he lost against me, he always pulled a perfect with his losing pack. So let's see.
I want to see one of these Chris Sales here.
Well, it's a diamond.
Oh, okay, it's at least a diamond.
It's at least a diamond. Looking at some of the diamond cards, Max Scherzer would be nice. Roger Clemens.
One of those new pitchers.
One of those new pitchers.
Anyone but Roger Clemens, or
Or Jonathan Lacroix. Roger Dodger. No. Ryan Pepio.
That's a pretty good card to have, though. Pepio is a good card to have.
It's a pretty good card. I'll make at least my money back because I'm going to put them on for just over 17,000. So if someone buys that, I've broken even on that one. Charles, it's been another long one. Been fun. Couple more weeks of physical trophies. and maybe just one more week of content, and maybe just a smattering of other things. I don't know. We're not sure yet on the content release schedule.
Guess we'll
And
see. Yeah.
we have Cavacom and I have a bet when the new game is released. I say it's going to be Tuesday, March the 26th. He thinks it's going to come out Tuesday, March the 29th or March the 19th. What's your guess when it gets released?
You think it's definitely a Tuesday, though?
That's been the pattern, is on a Tuesday. The beta comes out a few days before, and then the Tuesday is usually when they release it.
When do opening day rosters get finalized? Because I guess they got to get all the live cards in there, right?
Yeah. But they usually have a lot of patches early on too, so it might just be part of a patch. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go whatever the Tuesday before opening day is. I should look up when opening day. There's opening days again international this year, right?
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a 2-game series on March 20th and 21st. So I'm going to say that I'm going to go for the 19th then. I'm going to go for right before the Korea series.
Okay, so you're with Cavacom coming. You think it's going to come out on the 19th? Well, guys, if you still need drops, if you still want to catch some OOTP action, going to take you over to AZ Axel, who's currently streaming, and probably the Backyard Project. And again, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the follows today. Thanks for the re-upping of the sub to Punk42AE and the real Teddy O, and also to Kusharime. Also, thank you for making us stretch a few times. And I think, Charles, if we left that on, we'd be stretching all day.
Yeah.
We'd be really limbered up the way they were going at it. Any last comments before we head over there?
Yeah, thanks a lot for a fun set. And yeah, we'll say hi to AZ Axel. I think he's been traveling or something, right? I think he's been away. So
yeah, I believe so. So go give him some love. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. Thanks, Charles. We'll see you next episode.
Isn't it a pity? And every year has a share of tears. Every now and then it's gotta ring. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day. So have a good time. The sun can't shine every day.